Suit Towel. More Gain Scent plus Oxy Boost and Febreze in every Gain Fling.
The Camellia Bowl, brought to you by Montgomery County, Alabama. Come for the history, stay for the future. And Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Christmas Day football from Montgomery, Alabama. 4th down and 5 for Buffalo. The Bulls have not made a field goal all year. This is not a surprise. They're going for it. And that's incomplete. It was broken up really well by Gilmore, the cornerback. He got his arm right in front of Ruiz, the intended receiver. And for the second time, Marshall stops Buffalo deep in its own side of the field. Back to the Camellia Bowl in a moment.
7 days.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon codes.
Well, Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them. It's called shopping smart, not hard.
But I don't have a Capital One card.
You should get one, but you don't need it for this. Just download Capital One Shopping to your computer. It's free.
Ooh, save me some cheddar.
So, when's the party? I love fondue.
Really?
I never joke about hot cheese, Susan.
Me neither.
Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
At Chipotle, we believe that the best food on earth is the best food from the earth. That's why we use only whole avocados to make our guacamole fresh every day. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real.
This week on The Upper Hands, special guest Flo challenges the hand models to show off the ease of comparing rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. International hand model John gets personal.
Your wayward pinky is grotesque.
Then, a high-stakes patty cake battle royale ends in triumph.
You have the upper hand.
It's a race to the lowest rate and so much more. Only on The Upper Hands.
Ow! So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
What if your dentist stopped bugging you about flossing? What if you could brush and floss at the same time? Now you can with the world's first flossing toothbrush, the Waterpik Sonic Fusion. It's the only device that lets you brush and floss at the same time, and it's so easy to use. Best of all, it's clinically proven to be twice as effective as regular brushing and flossing. Help keep your smile healthy between dental visits with Waterpik Sonic Fusion. Go to waterpik.com to learn more.
What can you expect from ButcherBox? 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, heritage breed pork, and so much more. From farmers who believe in raising animals with care, with no antibiotics or added hormones, ever. All with free shipping right to your door. Together, we can make a difference, one meal at a time. Visit butcherbox.com to learn more.
Welcome to Montgomery, Alabama, and the Camellia Bowl here is part of Capital One Bowl Mania. And coming up tomorrow, Western Kentucky takes on Georgia State in the Lending Tree Bowl at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN. The Serve Pro First Responder Bowl has Louisiana squaring off against the UTSA on ABC, and then at 7:30 on ESPN, the Cure Bowl, Liberty and Coastal Carolina. That's tomorrow.
So Grant Wells is kind of the story coming to this game because he had such a terrific season prior to the debacle against Rice at home, the shutout loss. This guy really needs to have a big day for this offense, certainly without Brendan Knox as well.
First down here is Sheldon Evans with the run behind that veteran offensive line, and he powers his way ahead for the first down. Evans is a junior out of Roswell, Georgia, and a strong runner at just over 200 pounds.
It's a zone blocking scheme that Marshall uses to attack, and you see Evans just kind of picks his hole and doesn't really get touched until he's about 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, that was Kane Madden with the big block up front. This is a veteran Marshall offensive line.
It is.
They get 3 more yards on that carry. In fact, all fifth-year seniors out there. That's a lot of meetings, a lot of practices, and a lot of games together for the guys on that Marshall offensive line. They're playing their last game together. Wells on the rollout, going to throw it back, and it's incomplete.
Wells had an awful game against Rice, throws the 5 interceptions, and then they have a layoff, right? Because they're supposed to play Charlotte the following week. That game gets canceled because of COVID. So they come back conference championship game, Conference USA against UAB. He has a horrific first half. Does not complete a pass, no passing yards, no stats. And then at halftime of that game, their offensive coordinator, Tim Cramsey, had a little heart-to-heart with him, one-on-one. In the second half, he comes out, played so much better. 2 touchdowns, 136 yards passing, and they really feel like that's momentum coming into this bowl game.
Well, after the 7-0 start, Grant really had no negative plays. He had faced no adversity. That little screen is complete to Gammage, and he's shy of the first down. Lauren, fill us in more on Wells, this freshman who had such a great rookie season.
Yeah, he had a tremendous season, and really Coach Holliday pointed it out. He didn't experience any growing pains in that first 7 games of the season that they were victorious. So to see his response last week in the second half against UAB, Dustin, you talked about that heart-to-heart that they had. Coach said it was a special heart-to-heart, and he came out and he had this light in his eyes. This switch flipped, and you could see there was something different about him, and he was excited to get out here and play this game and really wash that taste out of his mouth that he had experienced against Rice.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you don't have a chance to come back out and play the next week, they missed that game. It stung. They went 13 days between games. So he had to sit on that 5 interception performance for that long. I mean, that stinks.
He knew he was going to be the Marshall quarterback since he was a little kid. In fact, he committed to Marshall when he was 6 years old. So I'm going to be a Thundering Herd quarterback. He knew from the very get-go.
He grew up in the shadows of Huntington.
There he is. He's wearing a little Danny Marino jersey there when he was #1, but he really wanted to be the next Rakeem Cato or the next Chad Pennington. He wanted to be the next great Marshall quarterback, just about 40 minutes away from campus in Charleston, West Virginia. Third possession of this quarter for the Bulls, and here is Marks in open field. Biggest run of the day for the Bulls tailback, and he's out to the 45-yard line before McLean Sapp finally tracks down Kevin Marks.
What's the edge gets set here for Marks? Wide open. It's almost like it was a sprinter shot out of a cannon. And you think about this, Marshall just had the football near where they're at right now. It was 4th and 1. You could have just gone for it. I kind of thought about that there a little bit too. Like, why not give it a chance to keep the drive alive?
Marks is averaging over 7 yards a carry in this game so far. Here's a quick throw, and that's Ruiz with the catch. But again, Nazeeh Johnson for the second time in this game makes a really nice open field tackle for the Herd.
You know, Nazeeh Johnson, former walk-on, is such a great safety for this team. Really does everything. You know, they'll move him around. When they go nickel, they put him in the slot because he can cover. I mean, he probably could start at corner too, but he's so smart back there in the secondary and does a great job. They're hoping he comes back. Remember, all seniors will have eligibility to come back for another season. He's a 5th-year guy. I think he's got a shot to play in the NFL.
Yeah, he's played so many games over the years for the Herd. He started as a walk-on and now a 5th-year senior and such a key guy.
There he is again.
The open field tackle. Same players involved. Ruiz catches the ball, and there's Nazeeh saying, hey, man, boundary corner, field corner, I can make the play.
Watch him right in the slot right here. The closing speed is excellent by Nazeeh. The coaching staff said, Brad Lambert, that is, defensive coordinator at Marshall, said he can run and he can jump. He's going to test extremely well at the combine if he gets the invite.
Third and really short. Marks the handoff, gets tripped up, but he falls ahead just enough for the first down. Marshall's defensive line, under the direction of J.C. Price, co-assistant coach there, Cornell Brown, those guys do a really good job with that defensive front that's given up only 88 yards a game rushing.
It's incredible. And you think back to early in the season there, it's week 2, September 19th. They shut down this App State attack.
No one shuts down
App's running game.
Right.
You saw what they did in the bowl game to North Texas. Cam Peoples running 300+ yards. So we've got a low-scoring game.
Just what we thought, right? No score on Christmas Day here in Alabama.
7 days to the college football playoff semifinals, New Year's Day on ESPN.
Why should your business go hybrid? As a coach, my office is nowhere without a solid line and agile, skilled players. I need the speed of a running back and the security of a lineman. A hybrid cloud approach with IBM gets your business both, so you can manage data and apps, whatever plays come your way.
Here, Coach.
When security meets agility, you're unstoppable. Bring it in, guys, bring it in, bring it in. 1, 2, 3, hybrid!
I'm not your grandma. I don't wear 12 layers of clothes in July. And I drink Canada Dry Bold Ginger. With an extra kick of real ginger taste that would blow the tennis balls off your grandma's wall. New Canada Dry Bold Ginger. Not your grandma's ginger ale.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something, too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like red.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $6,200 total value on this 2021 Acadia Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
Frankie Thompson, the best dressed assistant locker room manager in the league. I'm here to help you protect your clothes from getting damaged in the wash. That's why I use new Downy Defy. That's what's up.
We have an assistant locker room manager?
Help protect your clothes with new Downy Defy Damage.
Wendy's didn't start the chicken wars. They just ended them. Introducing Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich. A sandwich so crunchy, so juicy, so delicious. Nothing beats this classic. Grab it now in Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
So, these are the 4 teams, huh? Well, what makes them so special? In a season we all stood together, they still stood apart. The disruptors and dynasty builders, the unsinkable and the undaunted. The right to be here in these games isn't given. It's taken. It's won.
And now let's take a look at some top games to watch with our Capital One Bowl Mania update. What jumps out at you, Mr. Fox?
The game that never was. The game that you and I were supposed to have on December 5th. College Game Day went to Coastal, and it was supposed to be Liberty at Coastal. It turns out it was at BYU, who turned that trip into a game in 3 days, basically, and we had a lot of fun down in Myrtle Beach. But that's going to be a fun matchup between 2 really, really good football teams from the group of 5.
Scoreless game here. This is the 25th play that has been run in plus territory for the Bulls today, and that's Ruiz, who just got a scholarship, by the way, last night for Buffalo, making another reception. He's out of Fredonia, New York, western part of the state. And here come the Bulls again. They have lived in Marshall territory, but there's been no scorer yet today. QB on the keeper. And he's wrestled down beautifully by Nazeeh Johnson once again. So this is last night, Dustin. You're a former player. You know how emotional this could be. Christmas Eve for the Bulls.
Christmas Eve. Look at this.
One present to give. React, Gio.
What an emotional moment for Ruiz to get a scholarship. He's been through so much here at Buffalo, battled through injuries, and was a walk-on.
Marks has the first down, fighting his way to the 5-yard line. Well, Kevin Marks has taken advantage of Patterson's absence here in this first half.
Well, he's taken advantage of every opportunity he's had this season. Patterson gets all the love. They talk about him, conference player of the year. But I'll tell you what, when we talked to the staff, they said, this young man is so unselfish. He never complains about carries or touchdowns or notoriety. None of that matters to him. All that matters is winning football games, and he and Patterson both big-time cheerleaders of each other.
He has 100 yards already in this game against this Marshall rush defense, which stuffs him at the 5. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Bulls. Beauplan, who's starting at that one linebacker spot, came in to make the play.
Yeah, they kind of switched things around this week because Tavante Beckett was the Will linebacker. So they switched around. They moved Beauplan from Sam to Will, and they start Charlie Gray over at Sam. And that's probably what's going to be going forward. This is a look at your Marshall defense in 2021, too.
Marks again. And he maybe got down to the 3-yard line. And again, Beauplan made the play defensively. He and Charlie Gray. Yeah, Gray will play the Sam. Beauplan will play the Will next year for the Herd.
And don't forget about Eli Neal in the middle as the Mike backer. That will be your new look linebacking core in 2021.
3rd and goal. Buffalo does this a lot. They'll sprint to the line and run the play. Marks running right, and for the 3rd time inside the 5-yard line, Marshall's defense holds. That was Darius Hodge coming up.
Look at the center of this front. He's getting help there, too, in the backfield. Molinich.
So they'll go for it on 4th down. This is remarkable. This will be the 30th play Buffalo has run in Marshall territory in this game, and there's no score. 4th and goal from the 1. Quarterback keeps it, an easy walk in for the touchdown for Van Treese.
What a beautifully designed play call by Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator at Buffalo. Everybody inside expects Marks to try and jump over the pile, push through the pile, and there's no contain. Easy naked bootleg there for the touchdown.
While he hasn't made a field goal this year, McNulty has been perfect on extra points, and thus he was the All-MAC place kicker. He adds the extra point, and Buffalo early in the 2nd quarter takes a 7-0 lead on the 1-yard touchdown run from Stowe, Ohio native Kyle Van Treese.
Little girl is lost. Friend. She needs to be home. The roads have changed since you rode them.
How much you want for her?
It's not for sale.
If they find you, they kill you.
It's hard finding your way home.
You can't have her! And I'm taking her home!
News of the World. Rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for him, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. Become a member. Get an insurance quote today.
Sometimes the smallest gestures can be the most refreshing. Give extra, get extra.
How would I describe overpaying on a used car? It was humiliating. It's expensive. I just trusted the wrong used car sites.
Remember, if you don't see me, you're not seeing the most accurate price. Shop at Carfax. You won't have to overpay on a used car again.
But I guess life goes on. So, all right, come on, boy. Here we go. Let's go, buddy.
Shop millions of great deals, all with a free Carfax report. Only at the all-new Carfax.com.
As long as you get in the playoffs.
Touchdown! How do you like that?
I just want clear skin. tried so-called super creams, even tried half my kitchen on my face. And did any of that work? Nope. Then I found Proactive.com. They have 3 different systems with clinically proven ingredients and tested by dermatologists. They got my skin clear, and their skin too. They have a simple 3-step system designed for you. Subscribe today at Proactive.com. Subscribe to consistently clear skin delivered to your door. That's Proactive.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
I won these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Buffalo Bulls take a 7-0 lead here in the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. It is Buffalo-like weather here today. Temperatures in the 30s. We're not going to get the snow that they're getting at the moment in western New York.
Not quite Buffalo weather today. They're getting a blizzard there in Amherst.
McNulty to kick it back to the herd. And this will go for a touchback. It gives us time to go down to Lauren Sisler.
Hey guys, Jared Patterson might not be carrying the rock today, but he's got an eye on it. He just walked over to Valtrese on the bench and said, I saw that coming. That was all you for the touchdown. He went in for a big hug, patted him on the helmet and said, great job, man.
Well, it's tough for Lance Leipold because clearly his team has relied on Patterson so much this season, right? You knew coming into every game that he was going to be your main guy, and for the first time this year, he's not dressed.
I mean, this guy had 8 touchdowns against Kent State. He's the nation's leading rusher. He's got 19 touchdowns in just, 5.5 games, you know? So, obviously, he's going to get a lot of the notoriety, but Marks is still really good.
Meanwhile, Marshall's offense yet to find its rhythm. They have just 23 yards of offense on the game. There's a flag on the play on the first down throw to Gamage.
Have an ineligible man downfield, which I don't know how that's possible. It's a quick slant. I think it was 50. Will Ulmer.
Another receiver downfield, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
It's Kane Madden, the right guard.
Edwin Lee is the referee. By the way, this is an American Athletic Conference officiating crew today. Do you see it down there, buddy? There it is.
Yeah, look how far down the field he is. He just kind of floated down there. He's got to stay back.
Wells has completed 2 of 3 passes, but just for 5 yards. Marshall's offense can't get it going yet. And again, they're playing without their top tailback and Brendan Knox, who is out. They got about 3 yards back on that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 for Grant Wells.
They're going to have to get Wells going. You know, we talked with Tim Cramsey, their offensive coordinator, yesterday. He said it will be important early in the game for some easy throws, completions to get his confidence up.
This is Knowledge McDaniel, the 3rd back. He's a sophomore out of Bradenton, Florida, and he gets to the 29-yard line. McDaniel's a sophomore.
I can't wait to hear from Lauren later because she found out the background behind his name, Knowledge. She will shed some knowledge on that later.
Passing situation, however, now for all-conference quarterback out of Conference USA, Grant Wells.
Stutter and go. He's got
deep shot for Gamage. Can't hang on near the 30-yard line. It might have been a bit underthrown. Washington came back defensively for the Bulls on the play.
I think Washington gets his hand in there late. Look, watch right there. I think just enough. See that left hand? I don't know. I think that's maybe just a drop by Gamage. That was maybe a little underthrown ball, but right between the sideline and your target. That's where you want to drop it. That was a beautiful throw, I thought.
Lefevre to punt it away. There's a flag. And the punt rolls inside the 35-yard line. Let's see what the yellow hanky is, though, back along the line of scrimmage.
place by or assisting with this morning's explosion, including from Gaylord Opryland. If you're in need, including first responders, please reach out. Goes on to say, service for some customers in Nashville and the surrounding areas, this is from AT&T, may be affected by damage to our facilities from the explosion this morning. We're in contact with law enforcement and working as quickly and safely as possible to restore service. Now, whether or not that means Rebecca can get into that building to work on that service, I don't know, because it is a crime scene right now.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of debris for investigators to be combing through this morning. We saw a bomb-sniffing canine going through there, and also we were told they're possibly bringing a cadaver canine as well, and unsure still to this moment whether or not there was someone inside that RV when it exploded, or whether that was a pre-recorded message that was blasting out telling everyone to evacuate the area in some sort of timer before the explosion. So a lot of questions remain, including whether AT&T is going to even be able to get into that big brick building that you can see there in the distance, where the smoke is coming from, in order to get these phone and internet lines back up and running this morning. We do know that there are some impacts at Nashville International Airport. They have increased security protocols, according to their spokesperson, though they never usually tell us exactly what that means and what the new protocols are. But they're on high alert at BNA, and we're seeing some tweets from people who are supposed to take off from Nashville this morning who say that they are not taking off right now on their flight. So we're working to confirm whether there's any sort of ground stop or something else going on in the area right now. We have several folks behind the scenes who have been working tirelessly since 6:30 this morning, working to confirm information so that we can bring it directly to you on the air. We're also working to get Sky 5 back up and flying. They have to refuel, and Nick Barris will be joining them up in Sky 5 as well to bring us the latest information and show you the bird's eye view of the destruction, which we're looking at live right now from a camera on our Storm 5 Titan truck, which is broadcasting for you, pointing down 2nd Avenue, I guess I should say up 2nd Avenue from Broadway, and showing us the devastation in the area between Church and Commerce. And that, as you can see, we've got lots of tape keeping everyone out of what has become ground zero. But also, Rory, we know that TDOT and Metro Police are also keeping people far away from this downtown area. You can see the bullseye there on the map of where the actual explosion happened, on the street between that big red brick building, the AT&T building, and those other buildings along the riverfront. But they don't really want anyone coming into downtown Nashville, Rory, so they are turning everyone away.
We've been getting so much information, emails and texts, all of us here at the station, and we received something earlier that we saw a security camera footage that perhaps showed the RV. And now Metro Police, I believe this is their website, they have put out this. It says, breaking, this is the RV that exploded on 2nd Avenue North this morning. It arrived on 2nd Avenue at 1:22 a.m. Have you seen the vehicle in our area, or do you have information about it? Please contact us, Crime Stoppers, and then the number. So there is a look at the RV, whether it's parked or just pulling in, but they're saying that surveillance cameras indicate it came in at 1:22 in the morning. A very quiet time, Christmas Eve. Downtown, of course, shut down early due to the pandemic, so probably not a lot of folks down there other than people who live downtown. But that is a look at the RV, and I cannot tell what kind of RV, what brand. Maybe someone will, the model, I should say, will let us know.
This is a big lead, though, Rory, because folks may have seen this in and around their area. They may be able to help investigators piece what happened the days leading up to this explosion together, now that people can visually see this. And as many people know, there are cameras throughout Metro Nashville that Metro investigators can access whenever a crime occurs. We do have new information right now, though, from the airport. You heard me talking about unconfirmed reports that flights weren't taking off. Well, now this morning that it's because of telecommunication issues associated with the incident, the bombing in downtown Nashville. The FAA has temporarily halted all flights out of BNA. They expect the issues to be resolved, and they anticipate service to resume by 3 o'clock. So just about a half hour or so delay for all of those flights. We'll see if that is the case come 3. They say they're going to be providing an update around 3:30 or so. So we'll be able to check in with them then. But like you were talking about, Rory, the damage to that building, the AT&T Switch building, which is not the same as the AT&T Tower for anyone who may be confused, the iconic Batman building, that's a block or so off from where this happened. But the red brick building belongs to AT&T and is apparently a Switch building, which has far-reaching implications when the equipment goes down there, as we are currently experiencing with phone lines, internet lines, customers out of service, but also, more importantly, on a day like this, 911 lines across our area that rely on AT&T, Rory, are currently down.
Henry Rothenberg just showed me a photo trying to match up that picture that we brought up, and this is that disturbing video right outside the old spaghetti factory there of the damage in the moments right after the blast. Take a look at this again. Henry just pulled up a few pictures, and this is our best guess as far as the model. And those of you who know RVs know them well, but it looks to be a Ford E350 Econoline Corsair, a Class C rental RV. What did you say about mid-90s?
That definitely is the year on that. I would say mid to late 90s as you kind of look at the grill there on the front and just the body style on that. So definitely
it's not a small vehicle. It's not the biggest RV, but it is a pretty good size RV, and obviously it was packed with explosives. What a dangerous situation. Now people want to know who was behind the wheel. Who's in charge, who did this, and why? And investigators are working on that as we speak. And again, with COVID, downtown was very quiet. This was 1:22 in the morning, the police said, when this RV first showed up on 2nd Avenue, and then the blast happened at about 6:30 this morning.
And we've been asking, Rory, all the witnesses who have come forward to share their stories with us, we've been asking them, did you notice an RV on 2nd Avenue at any point? And so far, we've heard no. And now we know why. They rolled in around 1:22 in the morning, so seen that, especially by the time they went into bed the night before. We've spoken to people who live in condos in the area. One woman runs a vacation rental company out of several units there, and she said that what first alerted her to something going on was the sound of gunshots. But she said she heard that sound in the same way, about 5 or 6 shots in rapid succession a couple different times. So she was wondering if maybe that was also a recording and maybe not actual gunshots at all, just to get people's attention. And then she heard that warning from the RV that police have confirmed was being broadcast, saying, if you can hear this message, evacuate now. For several minutes, it ran over and over again before initiating a countdown and leading to this explosion. Let's take a look at the video from a surveillance camera in the area showing exactly what happened leading up to it.
All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. If you can hear this message, evacuate now. You can hear this message. Evacuate now.
hard to watch and really hard to wrap your head around that this really happened. This seems like something that we would see in a movie and not in real life in the streets of the city that we love so dearly. But now we are dealing with the aftermath of this explosion that you just saw from this surveillance camera in the area on 2nd Avenue between Church and Commerce in downtown Nashville. Nick Barris right now joins us from up in Sky 5. Nick, we know there's been a lot of telecommunications issues because of the damage to that AT&T building in the area, and the FAA has actually temporarily halted flights. So we were concerned about Sky 5 being able to fly through the area. How's it working out for you guys?
Well, if you take a look, we'll take some live pictures from up. We're back up with Sky 5 after refueling, trying to get you more images, and we're working with law enforcement. They have asked Sky 5 to keep its distance, not directly over the blast site. And as you see here in this video, it looks as though a water main in one location there is ruptured and obviously is making things wet down in that area. But again, we're keeping our distance right now. THP helicopter is overhead, and they want us to stay back, but we'll try to give you an update from here in terms of the visual of what they're doing on the ground. And, you know, at this point, we continue basically repeating much of what we've already told you until we get another briefing from law enforcement. But what we know is that they are on the ground at this point, continuing to assess the area and the blast site. And the big question, and what we've seen from Sky 5 as we've zoomed in, is there is no evidence of that RV in that area, meaning that when that blast occurred, it basically was obliterated. And what we know is that they've been down there with not only the bomb-sniffing dogs, but cadaver-sniffing dogs as well. There was a report earlier that they picked up evidence of human remains from that location. Now, that's not been confirmed yet, but that the dogs did hit on something in that area, which raises the question, was there someone inside that RV when the explosive detonated? Taking a look again at the general area, as you'll see, Christmas Day anyway was going to be empty downtown. But the visuals
watch
here,
a video if someone from your connections is doing a live broadcast. Live video will appear on your newsfeed timeline.
Staying in hotels and are not going to be allowed back in probably until at least tomorrow, the way things stand right now. But the whole area seems evacuated, kind of a ghost town of such, as law enforcement on the ground there continues to just go about their diligence. I will say this. From up here, it's hard to tell exactly where they're going into what stores, but there is absolutely no doubt, based on the fact that this explosion happened there along 2nd Avenue, that law enforcement, if they don't have it already, will have a lot of video of exactly what happened. Not only video of the RV pulling into that location sometime overnight, and our information tells us it was not there as of 11 o'clock last night, but likely by 1, 2 o'clock in the morning is when we think it arrived. But there is going to be surveillance video. We know on 2nd and Broad there are cameras everywhere. Almost every single establishment there has a security camera. So it's very likely they are going to have video not only of the RV arriving, but any other individuals around it, as well as I'm sure they're going to have video of the actual explosion itself. Now, none of that has been made public yet at this point, okay? But that's something they're going to be scrutinizing. And the big question, will they be able to get any detail, perhaps a license plate from the RV? At any point, was there an individual seen going in or out of the RV? The witness I spoke to earlier today, who said she saw the RV parked in front of her condo there, said she never saw evidence of anyone inside. All she heard was the loudspeaker of the warning to evacuate the area and then the countdown prior to the explosion. But I can tell you right now, they are for sure down there on the ground trying to collect up any security video from any of those establishments. And knowing that area, there's no doubt that they are going to have video. Now, what clues that gives us after the fact, we'll see. It's just right now a waiting game, and they're going to keep that area all shut down for a period of time. Am I with Rory now down in the studio? Are you there, Rory?
It's with me.
The scene at 1:22 this morning. So if you recognize that, if you have caught something on a Ring doorbell camera, your Nest videos, please make sure that you call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Here is the RV, and we're working to get more information. But Bob, we were talking about this before. It looks like maybe just the driver there in that picture, from what we can tell.
Yeah, you can't see through the windshield real well, but what you can see is there's definitely a person in the driver's seat.
and it does not appear that anyone else is in there. We can't see in the back of the RV, so we don't know if anyone was possibly in there. But this is the RV believed to be carrying the explosives on 2nd Avenue about 1:30 this morning that was parked at 166 2nd Avenue in front of the AT&T building and detonated at 6:30 this morning.
And as we were looking through some of the pictures of the devastation too, a lot of other businesses and establishments are affected by this as well, like Rocket Fizz, Second and Church. Their entire front facade is blown out. So you're going to have a lot of business owners who have already struggled during the year of 2020, now trying to figure out how do they navigate as they move through not only this investigation, but now repairing and then reopening.
And the question will be...
What they felt was debris from the blast. So it went quite a distance. Everything collected in this general area will be used as evidence, along with, as I suspect, a lot of the security video that they're going to have. And they will continue also to talk to as many witnesses and folks in the area as well, and touching bases with law enforcement that was out there very early. I'm wondering if we can get back down and get another shot of the blast site itself as we were going over it. It's very interesting when you see what appears to be kind of a tan area on the pavement there. That is where I believe the blast originated. And then all of the debris and the dark blast going out from it. There you see again the base of the AT&T building, which some have theorized could have been the intended target, wanting to knock out communications there and damage that building, and it certainly did. But you see the area down there, and again, there is the water line that's been burst in the building across the street. But it's interesting to see that there's no sign now of the RV there. It was obliterated, but the wreckage and remains and fragments of it are what they're going to be collecting right now.
And they have a big road ahead of them as they continue that investigation, Nick. Thank you so much. A lot going on. As you can see, water spewing from the roof of one of the buildings across the street. So much damage with water lines burst with debris all over 2nd Avenue, and people are being kept far away from downtown Nashville as the investigation into an RV explosion continues this afternoon on Christmas Day. We are hearing from local leaders in response to this morning's explosion as well. Senator Marsha Blackburn tweeted, quote, "I'm closely monitoring the situation in downtown Nashville and praying for all those involved. Thank you to our brave first responders for keeping us safe." Representative Jim Cooper tweeted, quote, "Praying for all residents of downtown Nashville on this Christmas Day." And the White House is also responding to what's happening here. This statement is from White House Deputy Press Secretary Judd Deere. He says President Trump has been briefed on the explosion in Nashville, Tennessee, and will continue to receive regular updates. The president is grateful for the incredible first responders and praying for those who were injured. This is something we're hearing from all levels of government, leaders here on the local level as well. There are so many people who are calling in, emailing in. You've probably gotten a lot of calls and emails and texts from concerned loved ones if you live in the Nashville area. This, again, is a look at the RV that police say pulled up around 122 this morning to 2nd Avenue between Church and Commerce, and then just after 6:30 this morning, exploded. If you recognize this, if you think you know something, even if it's small, call the FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI is the number that you can call. You can also go to our website where we have a direct link to a new digital tip line that the FBI has set up for you to send in tips on your computer or your cell phone. They need all information that we can give them in order to help crack this case wide open and bring the person responsible to justice. Rory.
A great shot here too, Rebecca, of the RV. Cannot see inside the window. Looks like there is one person behind the wheel. The headlights are on, and we're not sure if this is when it's just pulling up, but it's about 1:22 in the morning is when it arrived, according to Metro Nashville Police. So you see, just within a few hours, they've been able to obtain some excellent surveillance video, as Nick was saying, along 2nd Avenue. A lot of cameras. Metro Police have cameras, and also all the private businesses have cameras. And then there are residences that have cameras. And all this video is starting to trickle in, and it's just more pieces to the puzzle for the FBI and the ATF and the agents involved. The Department of Justice, our U.S. attorney said, is now involved. They're going to take this very seriously as an act of terrorism. But again, who's responsible? What was the target? What is the message? We're still not sure, Rebecca.
And Rory, so many people were in the area at the time because of condos and apartments nearby. We spoke with a man named Buck McCoy who witnessed exactly what happened. Let's listen in.
About 5:30 or so, I heard some gunshots. It sounded like 4 or 5, maybe 6 gunshots. I got up, looked out the window, didn't see anything. I saw that there was some snow on the ground, so I went back into bed and I heard some more gunshots. Bam, 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 bam. And then within maybe 10 minutes of that, a huge explosion which completely ripped the walls apart at my house. The stuff was coming down on me. There was dust everywhere. The water pipes started to leak all over the apartment. It had actually blown the windows from one room into another and blown the front door off of the hinges, which left it going off. A little confused. It was just like a war zone with them, and it reminded me, I got to get my cat. So I went back up there to get my cat, and it was impossible to find her because there was just so much stuff all over the place. And then I saw her jump, and at that time the firemen were coming up the stairwell, and they asked me, get out right now. We need you to evacuate. And I said, well, my cat's in there. And they said, just get out, and basically telling me to run. And so I got out of there, walked out to the front, and it just looked like a war zone, something you'd see on TV. It looked like Universal Studios.
Can you even imagine living through that? We're so glad that Buck is doing okay, and it sounds like his cat will make it out of there as well. So good to hear that. We're hearing a lot of stories of survival this morning from the folks who do live in apartments and condos in the area along 2nd Avenue in downtown Nashville this morning. Look at this day from Sky 5. What would have been a bright, sunshine-filled Christmas day with some snow on the ground. I know a lot of folks were excited about a slightly white Christmas, has turned into tragedy throughout downtown Nashville once we heard word of an explosion on 2nd Avenue. Are we going to Nick Barris with the latest information from the sky? They've got the best view up in Sky 5. Let's see if we can check in with Nick and see what he's seeing right now.
Can you... Okay, I can update you. There's a lot of traffic going on up here in my headset, and I'm trying to get my thoughts clear. There was just a new development up here in the sky. We've been told that there is now a TFR that's taken effect, and we were in the impression that at one point they were going to issue a temporary flight rule. And basically what that is telling